This video is on zeros and exponent and negative exponents.
Remember from our last video we talked about exponents. In this example we have a base 3 and an exponent 3. When we evaluate that, it would be 3 times 3 times 3, which equals 27. As we continue down, we have 3, the base exponent 2, so 3 to the second power equals 9, and 3 to the first power equals 3.
But what happens when you get to 3 to the 0 power?
I don't know. What?
Well, if you see this, we actually have a sequence going on. This is called a geometric sequence. To get from the 3 to the third power to 3 to the second power, we divide by 3. So 27 divided by 3 is 9. 9 divided by 3 is 3. So, consequentially, 3 divided by 3 is going to equal 1. So we'll just continue with that pattern as we get into our negative exponents. So 1 divided by 3 will give us 1/3, and then 1/9, and then finally 1/27. And we can continue this pattern with any of our exponents, whether they be positive or negative.
So from the previous slide, we saw that 3 to the negative second power equals 1 over 9. When we're working with negative exponents, we want to find the reciprocal of the fraction. So if you remember from last year, the reciprocal is the multiplicative inverse of the number. And to find the inverse, you have to figure out what you multiply this fraction by to equal 1. And to do that, we flip this, so this becomes 9 over 1. And if we multiply across, we'll get 1 as our answer. So 9 is the inverse of, or reciprocal of 1/9.
Looking at it a slightly different way, we have 3 to the negative second power, just like we had above. In order to get rid of that negative exponent, what we're going to do is multiply by the value of 1, which for this example is going to be 3 squared over 3 squared. So really we're multiplying by 9 over 1 over 9 over 1. So this will cancel out the 3 to the negative second power with the 3 squared, because when you multiply those two together, you're going to get 1. So what you'll be left with when we simplify the denominator down here is 1 over 9. Essentially what it all means is, if you see this, do this. Take your exponent and your base number and make it the denominator. But now the question is, what if you have a problem like the one we have here, where it's 1 over 3 negative squared? We already have that exponent in the denominator, so what do we do with that? Let's first go ahead and convert it to a fraction to make it a little bit easier. So now we have 1 over a fraction. Of course, we can't have a fraction in a fraction, so we need to simplify it.
So to simplify this, we need to multiply by the reciprocal. The reciprocal is 9 over 1. The top, the numerators, you have 1 times 9, which equals 9. And the denominators are going to cancel out to equal 1, because you have 1 over 9 times 9 over 1. So that will give us 9 over 1, which is equal to 9, which is our answer. Things to remember for this lesson. If you have an exponent of 0, your answer is always going to equal 1.
And when you have a negative exponent, you're going to multiply by the positive reciprocal. So essentially, your number is going to be positive in the denominator with a 1 in the numerator.